Hey kids, as you can see, it's a wonderful autumn day. I've got a little fire going off camera here and the sun is shining, and I thought it would be fun to share with you a book that I wrote called Mudville. This is called Adventures Beyond Mudville. It's pretty fun, so let's take a look at it. Once upon a muddy cruddy time, there was an icky sticky place covered in ooey gooey mud. It was called Mudville. They had mud that smelled like an old sock. They had mud that smacked and slurped when you tried to walk. They even had mud that you could eat. You'd have to be really hungry though, and even then, it tasted like feet. It was so dirty that travelers would never get close. Nobody wanted to visit because it was so gross. Mud was everywhere, and no matter how hard they tried, they couldn't get clean. So they pretended in the mud to take pride. Being so dirty, no one ever was allowed to leave. It was so nasty, you wouldn't hardly believe. There were 3 brothers who lived in Mudville. Murville was taller than both of his younger siblings and always wore yellow. In all of Mudville, he proudly claimed to be the cleanest fellow. Uber loved playing in the mud. Even his blue hat was never clean. He bragged to all his friends that he was the best mud mound builder anyone had ever seen. Drake's orange striped shirt was a mess because he loved throwing mud pies at those who were trapped in the mud. His favorite pastime was to hit other Mudvillians while they were stuck. One day, Drake was looking for someone to hit with a mud pie. There was a girl who had no idea about Drake's plan to let his pie fly. She said, "I came out to play, but I got stuck." Drake pretended as if he'd help. He was surprised at his good luck. "Bombs away!" he shouted as he fired the mud like a cannonball. It soared through the air, a beautiful shot. He held his breath as he watched it fall. He launched the other. His aim was perfect. The mud landed on the girl with a plop. She cried and screamed for her mother, now that she was covered in slop. Another day, Drake was dreaming of getting out of Mudville, but he had no idea how. Roads were buried, cars were stalled, and there were no animals to ride like a horse, a mule, or even a cow. As he was dreaming of leaving, he noticed a sound coming from far away. He squinted his eyes and tried to see. There was something in the distance coming his way. It didn't take long before he could tell it was a huge, magical train. Instead of wheels and tracks, this train floated above the muddy plain. It huffed and puffed as it floated near. Everything in Mudville was muddy, but the train didn't have a single smear. The boys came close to get a look. They studied every little gadget and nook. They had never seen anything so shiny and clean. It was the most interesting thing any Mudvillian had ever seen. Suddenly, a hatch opened on the side. The conductor made his debut. Under his feet buzzed a device, some kind of hover gear. He was flying, too. From above them, he said, "Hello, I'm the train conductor. I come from a place far beyond Mudville's filthy views. It's called the Land of Light. The king there has sent me to give you some good news." Out past the slippery hills of sludge, beyond the rolling dunes of mud, lies a land so beautiful and full of life that every day new fruits and flowers bud. It is the home of the great king. His palace is at the center of everything. There is no mud, no crud, and no night. Anyone who wants to come is invited by the king. He has sent me out to share, gather, and bring. The king promises to let anyone in for free. A free ticket is the gift for those who hear the king's promise and believe. Murville said, "That's too easy. You have to be clean before you can leave." Uber said, "Well, I believe the promise of the king. I'd like to go to the Land of Light, especially since it's free." Drake said, "Me too. Let's go." The conductor said, "I have others to tell, but I'll come back for you. Until then, use this device to learn about the king and what he wants you to do." Murville interrupted, "Wait a minute. First you said the tickets are free. Now you say we have to obey? I'm too smart for you to trick me." The conductor pulled a gadget from his jacket and said, "The tickets are free for whoever believes, but there's extra reward for anyone who also does good deeds." Once the conductor was gone, Mudville said to himself, "Ha! My brothers are naive. They think they have a free ticket to the land of light just because they believe. They should learn from me. I can earn a real ticket if I can get clean. I'll climb out of this mess. Once I'm clean, it's me the king will bless." Mudville looked for something to stand on so that he could wash. Everything was so covered in so much mud, there was nothing that would work, except a kid named Josh. He said, "Hey, stay still. I need to use your head. I'm earning a ticket to the land of light. There is a lot of mud I need to shed." Uber said to himself, "The conductor told us we have to believe to go to the land of light. The ticket is free, but what happens if I don't do what's right? I know I should do good deeds, but I want to make a mud mound. I'm sure I'll have plenty of time before the conductor comes back around." So Uber began to make mud mounds. He made tall ones, short ones, sloppy ones, and even a stinky one. He had planned to make only a few, but he was just having too much fun. Many times he decided to get up off the muddy ground. Each time, he would have a new idea on how to make a bigger, better mud mound. As Drake cranked the handle on the device, a voice came from the story machine. "When the king visited Mudville, he helped many people, even though they weren't clean. He told them about the land of light. He searched for people who needed his help each day and every night. All you must do to go to the land of light is believe. Yet for the Mudvillians who also do good deeds, there is a great reward they will receive." "Wow," Drake said. "I want to be as much like the king as I can. I'll do the good deeds the king has planned." Each day, he would listen to another tale from the king's story device and then search for any who needed a helping hand. He found that not everyone was happy to see him, since many had been hit by a mud pie. Yet he wanted to help others like the king had done, so he kept looking for those who would let him try. He came across a boy named Josh, who was buried in the sticky slop. "Help!" Josh yelped. "I've been trapped. I'm sinking, and I can't stop." "Heave-ho!" Drake cried as he tried to help him out of the mud. With a tug and a pull, they finally wrestled him from that nasty crud. "Why did you help me?" Josh asked. "You used to be so mean." "I helped you because I believe in the land of light and its kind and loving king." Drake told him all about the land of light and the free tickets he could receive. It wasn't long before Josh also believed. Drake continued to teach Josh about the land of light. Josh was so excited he gathered others to hear about the king, the land, and even the conductor's flight. Drake taught them what he had learned and told all he had seen. He explained we can all go to the land of light even though we are not clean. You can get a free ticket to the land of light if you believe in the king. There's even more reward if you learn about him and do good deeds. So, some didn't believe in the king and the story that Drake told. Yet many loved the tale and wanted to hear more. It just never got old. One day, Drake was talking about the land of light while many were listening. That's when he caught sight of the train in the distance, glistening. They all rushed to the conductor while Mudville checked that he had no stain. The conductor pulled him from his pocket tickets for the train. Josh whistled and said, "Wow, those are bright." The conductor said, "Everything shines that comes from the land of light. These tickets are for those who have believed." When Mudville didn't get a ticket, he reached for the conductor's hand and heaved. Mudville cried out, "I'm the only one that has earned a seat. Look how clean I am." The conductor is a big fat cheat. The conductor responded, "Everyone here is dirty, and yet any is allowed to leave. It's not too late. You can still have one if you simply believe." "You're trying to trick us," Mudville said. "I'd rather stay in Mudville instead." The train departed. It rumbled and roared as it climbed and climbed. The kids watched through the window as the sticky, icky mud was left behind. Magically, their clothes became instantly clean. They giggled and laughed as the flying train steamed. "I can't wait to see the king," Drake said, after they had been riding for a while. "Look, the land of light is just ahead." Uber said, "I'm excited too, but I hope the king is not too mad. I wasted lots of time making mud mounds. I've been kind of bad." The land of light grew brighter as they drew near. They could hardly believe that everything was so beautiful, clean, and clear. The conductor let out a mighty blast from the train's whistle. The gates of the land of light opened, and the train shot through like a missile. When they arrived, Drake ran and hugged the king. His joy had no end. He knew the king's story so well, he felt like he already had a friend. The king said, "Welcome, everyone, to the land of light. You're all here because in me you believed. It is more wonderful than anything you've ever conceived." To Drake, the king said, "For you I have a special reward. The work you did for me was truly great. You will always be welcome in my palace. At my royal table you will always have a plate. I will give you amazing treasure, and you will be governor of an entire state. The citizens you govern will show you great respect. Well done, my very faithful subject." Each was given the amount of reward that he or she had earned with their deeds. His friends got some, Josh got lots, but Uber received almost none. Because they believed, they all lived happy in the land of light. Yet Drake and Josh had done good deeds, so their future was the most bright. So that is Mudville. For you parents, we have a page in the back if you're interested on how to share the gospel with your kids. And on this one, what is interesting that you may be interested in is that we share the gospel by John 3:16, but then we add to it the idea of eternal rewards, that you can have more or less eternal rewards based on your faithfulness. So that is Mudville. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoyed that, kids.